Sweet.
Boy.
It's been a lot of work. I'm super bad at shooting these videos. I know the whole reason to do these is to be able to show me working on them, but I don't ever shoot anything while I'm working on them because I'm so focused on I have 2.5 or 3 hours in the shop where I can bust some stuff out on the Mustang, or Kelly's working on it while I'm gone at FD or something, and it just doesn't get any content. So these build videos are a lot more like update videos, but I guess it's kind of all the same because I can go into detail and you can see the finished product. And maybe I'll just tell you about some of my fails along the way. I don't know if there's any in here, but we'll get there when we go. So today's episode's kind of like just talking about the interior of the car. We've done a ton of work on that, getting it dialed. In the previous episode, obviously, you saw the shifter assembly, and you probably saw the transmission tunnel cover already. But yes.
Can you turn the fan off?
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry.
You can probably hear me a little better now. Anyway, so going in the interior, Recaro sent us some bucket seats that are super nice and insanely stiff. We've been talking about weight management this entire time with the car. So the passenger seat, as you can see, is literally almost in the back of the car. The stock seat mounts are right here. So we are about a foot back farther than basically stock. And that's because I typically have passengers in the car, that weight distribution being as far back as possible. Obviously, having additional weight sucks to begin with, but we're going to be giving rides and having a good time in this thing. So if we're going to have people in it, we might as well be able to have them be a little bit more rearward, get us a little bit more weight on the rear axle, and hopefully make the car a little bit easier to drive. Like I was saying, with the trans tunnel, we ended up finishing that up. It's just riv nutted in. And Kelly actually built this whole thing while I was gone. He was like, "Oh, do you know a guy who can do some tin work? Because I don't know what I'm doing with this." And I'm pretty stoked on how that turned out. I don't know how many tries it took, because this does not look like somebody's first attempt to doing this. But it turned out really nice. I'm pumped on it. It'll get painted the color of the car before when we paint the whole interior itself. But again, we're just putting a lot of this stuff together for the first time. And then once it's tested, ran through, driven, all that stuff is good, then we'll do basically a winter pull out, paint everything. My wife will get crazy with painting it cool. I got Techno Violet for the interior, for the cage and all that stuff.
He gets to take all the windows back out, the dash back out, everything back out.
The windows aren't coming out, they're getting masked.
You're a bitch.
You can always scrape them. There's no tint on them.
You can scrape them.
Yeah, well, we'll get there. Anyways, so the Recaros are in there. Handbrake is mounted, ran, and bled. I think since it has a 625 master on there now, judging by the piston diameter of the rear calipers, that was going to be the right size, but unfortunately I think we need a 750. But I think it'll still lock up and be fine. It just needs to move a little bit more fluid per inch. We got the dash in, which is the dash that came with it, which is oddly an SN95 dash. So that's in there. So that's in and attached. We even got our clock. I haven't wired that up yet, but I figured that'd be hilarious if we did. And it's a little bit of a crude install because eventually I'd like to put an RTR dash in this, which is just like the carbon lightweight panel. This is not super heavy. And we didn't have that other carbon one because we're waiting to get some made. So I don't want to use the term it's a placeholder, but it's not really my style. It's kind of weird 90s retro-y.
It almost looks like you could have a whole
left or right hand drive.
Yeah.
I know. It's very much similar. Small little ABS piece here if we need to mount any switches, which we do already have a switch that's just sitting down here right now for the windows. So they are power windows still. Which will not be for very long, probably. I will probably get fiberglass doors for it and keep these so that when we drive it and do street driving and stuff, we'll put these doors on it because it's super easy to swap them. And then when we go to the track and we're just traveling and enjoying the car and not driving it on the street, like Drift Week and all that, at that point we'll run these, and then we'll run the fiberglass ones to the track because the doors are about 70 pounds each. And I had planned on going full fiberglass. because they're about 8 pounds each. So the weight savings can be a little over 120 pounds, which is insane amount. So I would imagine with these doors, we're probably right at about 2,500 with me in the car, and without these doors, we'll be below the 2,400 goal. At least the theory is. And gutting the doors and stuff would be cool, but having a street car with like electric windows and stuff that works still is kind of cool. But these doors are tanks. Let me jump to the other side real quick. Okay, so to finish up the interior stuff, we got our arc panel mounted on the dash here. And we just have it crudely written in now because we don't have a final say on exactly what's going to go on right now. Steering column and stuff, which I think you saw in a previous video, that's complete now. It still needs to get cut down about an inch or so, but we've got our wheel to put on there. We finished up the brakes. So we've got the brake setup in this car is like a full suicide split brake. The foot brake only operates the front brakes, and the handbrake operates the rear brakes. I wouldn't say that's good to do for someone who just learned how to drive or drift or whatnot, but for me, like, I run my brake bias over 80% to the front anyway, and I wish I could get it farther, but I can't. Is it raining? Mm-hmm. Oh, nice.
Are any windows down?
That's what I was just thinking about. I don't think so.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, we get phantom rain here, dude. You'd think we live in Florida. But yeah, so because of that percentage of brakes, it's kind of like unnecessary. I may have said this in a previous video. I don't know. But we got our clutch hooked up, and we got a clutch stop made, and all that stuff works at this point now. And yeah, just overall, oh, we got a windshield in too. I forgot about that. And you guys saw the shifter in the last video. If you didn't, just scroll back and watch that. But yeah, brakes are bled, handbrake is bled. We got our Link ECU installed with the data cable here. Obviously this is not loomed or anything yet. We haven't ran the car, haven't driven it, and the last thing I want to be doing is finding wiring problems through a bunch of loom. But this is mainly just taillights, headlights, and other stuff. This is the fuel pump wiring, and this is a trigger for running lights. And this is the main power to the battery. So just, that's it. I mean, that's everything right there. So there'll be one piece of loom that goes over here. All these P-clamps with that are riv nutted in are installed. And yeah, so again, keeping it kind of crude for testing stuff. This car doesn't have to be an FD car or anything crazy anyway. We just obviously want to lube it up because it looks like dog shit like that. So yeah, like I said, I'm pretty pumped with the interior and how it turned out, especially thanks to Recaro and getting these 6 seats in here. I've always like wanted to have my personal car have some like brand new nice Recaros, and these are like the cool Euro Japanese style one that all the guys run. So it's kind of neat to be able to have that. If you have any questions about the cage and stuff, we have that in a previous video. Go ahead and jump back and watch that. I think it was called Party Up a Notch Got Bars. So, but yeah, next episode is going to be going over the engine and all of that stuff. So we will go ahead and show you that. Oh, I didn't even tell you, drive-by-wire setup is E46 non-M automatic. So the drive-by-wire pedal, I don't know if you can see this down here. Here, I'll just jump it and show you. Yeah, so drive-by-wire. Oh, she's got the AE lock on. Let me brighten this up for you guys. There you go.
You told me to.
I know. So drive-by-wire pedal here, brake pedal here, already bled, clutch with a clutch stop down there that's adjustable. And you can see the steering column plate there, and you can see my little mess of wiring going on here. It's a little bit, it's organized, but it's not loomed yet. What's cool about this is going to be hooked up to scramble boost. So you have this gas pedal, and that's 0 to 100%, or whatever you program it to, and then you get the automatic kick down right there. You got to push pretty hard to get, and that'll make me go from like maybe 16 or 17 pounds to probably 25 or 26 for when I need it. So I can keep everything together and keep the tires controlled like this, and then boom, that'll be an extra like probably 60 or 80 horsepower. So it'd be kind of neat to see that. Yeah, but like I said, all this is wired up, and here, let me hand you back to her.
I cut the mic, dude. You had your
But I was
fingers
so
over
close
it,
to
ding
it that it's
dong.
probably fine
You're like-
anyway. It's fine.
Finger banging.
I get so many people hating on my audio stuff too. But I feel like it's fine. We're in the car.
You guys are lucky I'm not even eating Cheez-Its right now.
Yeah, she's not even eating. And she doesn't have a sinus problem, so she's not breathing behind everything.
Dude, the allergies up here are real, dude.
Dude, they are so
You can't
real.
blame anybody.
They are so real. Okay, anyways, thanks for watching. You know the deal with the algorithm. Give me a like if you like it. If you don't like it, dude, just hit don't like and then just tell me what you don't like about it. I want you to say that you don't like it, but I also want a constructive reason why. So if you don't have one, just hit like. So, see you guys.